All right, g'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Explore Tips and Tricks. We're in the Explore HQ at the moment, and I thought I'd do a bit of a review video this week. So I'm gonna do it on my Safari Armax Ecu. So it is my engine control unit. Now, I have had this product in for over a year now, so I think it's probably about time to do a bit of an update, do a review video. Now I can give you guys some honest feedback on how the product's gone over the last 12 months. I've been giving it an absolute hiding. We've been everywhere from Tasmania all the way up to the top of Darwin and everywhere in between. So I've had it on just about every sorts of terrain, lots of sand driving, through mud, through decent water crossings, had the bonnet completely underwater. I've done a fair bit of towing now, some lighter stuff, but also a nice big 3-ton caravan and down on the beach with the caravan. So let's have a bit of a closer look, and I'll just talk you through how I sort of think it's gone over the last 12 months. So we got the ECU unit here. Now look, over the years I've run different types of performance upgrades on every vehicle I've pretty much owned. So there was the chips back in the day, that was the latest and greatest. Now look, chips probably do have a place, but they do have limitations on what they're able to do with their functionalities. There's the remapping, where you actually remap your factory ECU. Now personally, I've had a couple of bad experiences in the remapping case with blowing turbos and bits and pieces. That's my personal experience. I'm sure there's people out there that do a good job at doing a remap. Now look, in my opinion, the next step up is a full ECU unit. The safety features that this thing has is absolutely incredible. A couple off the top of my head without getting into too much detail. One, it monitors your EGTs, so if your exhaust gas temps get too hot, it'll restrict your power. It doesn't give you the full power of the vehicle until the engine's at a certain temperature. All these small little things that add up to that safety and reliability. Now, it gives you better power, better torque, less fuel economy, and less turbo lag is sort of the main functions of this unit. Now, look, a couple of the other features that I think I will mention. The quality in this product, it's not a cheap product. You definitely are paying for what you get, in my opinion. Now, it's got an IP68 rated waterproof rating, which means basically this unit could be submerged up to a metre and sort of held underwater, which obviously is not going to happen. But look, I have done some pretty decent water crossings, water over the bonnet, been submerged in water for a while. It is mounted up nice and high, which is obviously a great feature. Now, I've got plenty going on under the engine bay here. It is basically a full house. There's nothing else I can put under here. Just on this side alone, I've got the J-Max upgraded brake booster. I've got a single ARB compressor tucked in here. So that's another bonus with the Safari. They've got a couple of different bracketries that allows you to fit it in and around other modifications, which I thought might be worth mentioning. While we're under the bonnet here, the wiring harness. Now, obviously they use all top quality fittings. Once again, they're all waterproof as well and dust proof. But the main feature that I probably want to point out is it basically looks like your factory vehicle harness. So you don't have spaghetti going everywhere. It's all tucked inside this nice one loom, which obviously will protect it from heat and any abrasive. Now look, I can sit here and yap about it all day, but let's jump in, go for a drive, and I'll run you through a few features. It does have 5 different modes, so let's jump in and go for a drive. All right, so we've just jumped in. I'm just going for a bit of a drive. We've just come up to the first little hill, and I was wondering what was going on. And what I've done is I actually put it in map 5 when I was playing around with it. So that's back to your factory standards. So there is the 5 modes. Now, before I get into the 5 modes, I thought it would just be important to mention that I do have a bucket load of upgraded features on this truck. So bigger turbo, bigger intercooler, bigger injectors. I'm running a crossover pipe. I've obviously got the 3-inch stainless steel exhaust. Now look, I think there's a bit of a perhaps stigma or miseducation that the Safari product is a plug and play. That could not be further from the truth. So you can basically go as mild or as wild as you want. So for anyone chasing huge horsepower that wants to chuck it on a dyno and do full custom tuning, you can 100% do that. I put this truck in at the Armax Performance Centre down in Melbourne. and we did a fully custom tune to suit all of the extra performance products that I have, and we custom tuned the mode number 1, which is my comfort, and then mode number 2, which is my sport mode. So they were both fully custom tuned. Now, if you want more information about how much power I got out of it and all that sort of thing, and the install, there's another video on my YouTube channel where you can go and watch that, and it runs you through all of those specifications. But let's get back to the 5 main modes. So number 1 was comfort, number 2 is sport, number 3 is towing, number 4 is traction assist, and number 5 is factory. So it puts it back to your factory settings, which is what I was driving around in before. Now, I'm just going to give you my personal experience on when I use each of these modes and why they actually do come in handy. So first mode is the comfort mode. Now look, to be honest, this is one that I kind of use for every day-to-day driving. Now my sports mode is tuned up pretty heavily, and I honestly don't need that much power just driving around town. Not to mention the fuel economy is a little bit better in the comfort mode, so that day-to-day round town driving, mode number 1 is what I use. Now look, for some of the longer trips, specifically when I want to overtake on the highway, or when I do want that extra power, if I'm going up nice long hill climbs in the high country, or I'm trying to get through a mud puddle, anywhere where I want that extra power, sports mode. Sports mode, this thing absolutely pulls like a train. Now if we go down to mode number 3, which is towing mode. Now look, I tow my lightweight tinny, I've towed the Trackabout camper every now and again, and I've towed 3.5 ton caravans. So I use the towing mode probably for the Trackabout and the caravan, some of those heavier loads, which just gives you that little bit more low down torque in that tune. To be completely honest, I do chuck it back into sports mode when I want to overtake on highways and those sorts of things. That's just how I use it. Something cool to mention is you can flick between all of these modes while you're on the run. So you don't have to stop or pull over. It will change that map and will basically give it to you almost instantaneous. So look, towing mode comes in handy. The next one is traction assist. Now look, I use this mode quite a bit when I'm out full driving, to be completely honest. So most of the time I'm probably in sports mode when I'm out on the tracks. But when you get into those really technical sections where you want to have a little bit more throttle control, traction assist is definitely the one to pick. So it's not quite as responsive on the throttle in that mode, so it gives you a lot better control when you're trying to have wheel placement and when you're trying to, you know, navigate through tight obstacles. So look, traction assist definitely comes in handy. And then we go to mode number 5, which is your standard mode. It basically puts it back to your factory ECU settings. Now look, honestly, I've never used this mode, but if I did ever have anything go wrong with the vehicle, I could chuck it back into mode number 5 as a bit of troubleshooting. This would just allow me to eliminate that it is the tune. There's one other procedure that you can do, which is a plug and play system. I'll show you that when we get back. That actually completely eliminates your ECU. All right, so I told you there was a couple of things you can do troubleshooting wise. Now this has been sitting in my glove box for the last 1.5 years. Basically, it's a bridge out connector. So on the back of the unit here, there's 2 clips. You simply undo the 2 clips, plug it into here, and that's it. You are 100% back to factory. You've completely bypassed the ECU unit. Now look, that's great for troubleshooting if you're ever worried that it is the unit, or if there's any other problems and people are trying to blame the ECU. You can simply disconnect that, take it back to factory, and you're absolutely laughing. Now, another thing that I'll show you, which is tucked in here nice and neatly, is a data cable point. So if, for instance, you decide to upgrade something on your vehicle, you can actually get your tune done remotely. So all you have to do is connect your standard data cable in. You'd have your laptop sitting here, and Safari can actually modify your tune remotely for you. Now, this is definitely a benefit for upgrades when you don't always need to use the dyno. But the main feature that this would be handy, and obviously I haven't had to try it yet, otherwise I'd film a video, but if you ever do have any dramas, you can use it for troubleshooting. So let's say you're somewhere up in WA, as long as you've got internet reception, simply put your laptop here, plug it into the data cable point there. You can get on the telephone with Safari. They can log in remotely and have a look at your system, check out all the fault codes and find out what exactly has gone wrong, whether it's a blocked fuel filter or whatever other reason it might be. And they can diagnose that remotely, helping you out, getting you back on the road. Now, like I said, this thing has not missed a beat. Something else I will mention real quickly is warranty. Safari basically give you a 5-year, 100,000 kilometre warranty from new. So I don't think there's too many remappers out there that are giving you a 100,000 kilometre warranty on their installs. But look, put it to them. To summarise, guys, after having this product for a year and a half now, I'm absolutely stoked. It really, truly hasn't missed a beat. If you're even considering doing any performance upgrade to your vehicle, I'd get onto Safari, find out if they do an ECU for your vehicle. If they do, put it to the test against whatever other performance upgrade you were thinking about doing. It is well and truly worth having a look at. Cheers, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. While we are in isolation, we're going to do our best to bring you guys as much videos from in the Explore shed as we can. If you guys have got any questions about the Safari ECU, leave us a comment. If you enjoyed the video, chuck us a thumbs up. I will link Safari below, so if you guys want to jump straight over to their website and have a bit of a look, go nuts. If not, see you next time on Explore Tips.